Hey y'all, what's up? JamiThatsMe here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another review on Belle Collective. Okay, we are here, Belle Collective. Let me go ahead and pull my notes up. While I'm doing that, if you have yet to like the video and you just came in, go ahead and hit that like button for me. Definitely appreciate it. It helps out the channel a lot. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this latest episode. Y'all know last week the episode ended with Cliff popping up on Latrice and pretty much going the fuck off on her, okay? Talking about things that Josh said. He did not appreciate Josh disrespecting him in his home and all kind of stuff. First of all, girl, Cliff creeps me the fuck out, okay? He creeps me the hell out. And I refuse to believe that they will get another 5 years out of their marriage. I mean, just for me, I don't see it. I don't see it happening. And I do hate Latrice's mindset around marriage. Like, it's giving to me, okay? We ain't who our ancestors used to be. Like, that ain't us no more. We don't stay on jobs for 40, 50, 60 years, 30 years, but we don't do that. Okay, and we also don't stay in relationships. We don't overstay our welcome in relationships either. Okay, she has an old mentality mindset. To me, that you're supposed to, like, for better or for worse, you're supposed to stay in this marriage and just endure. I refuse. I refuse. Y'all can hold yourself to whatever Bible or whatever thing y'all see, a religious item book that y'all want to do what you want to do. I'm not doing this. Okay, and I hate that she's punishing herself by saying she takes marriage very, very seriously, and she got to be by her husband, she got to ride with him and all this other stuff. But at the same time, it's like, girl, at what point do you demand respect for yourself? Okay, and you demand respect from your husband. At what point does that happen? Is what the people trying to find out. Because if you think that I'm going to be in a marriage and it's going to be all about your needs and what the fuck you want, you have me fucked up. Because she wasn't the only person to say those vows. You feel what I'm saying? So I cannot take the disrespect, okay? And I'm not Sharice, but Latrice, girl, as much as you trying to keep it private, you can't no more. So you've been behind whatever facade for all of these years, and you can't do that anymore because now you're on this television show and this front screen, and we're going to see through the bullshit. Okay, we really saw through it during the first season, but now it's really coming to a head now. But let's go ahead and get into it because Cliff pops up on Latrice at the club or the lounge, wherever she was. He starts going off. Once he goes off on her on the outside, he decides to follow her on back into the inside, and I cannot deal. It's like a kid that has gotten in trouble and dad says, yes, I can hang out, but because I got caught smoking or got caught kissing a boy or whatever, he's going to sit and watch me have a good time with my friends to make sure I don't get out of line. Like, that's the type of vibe, energy, and I do not like that because I feel like, a lot of times when people have children, right, they say that our children don't belong to us, that we don't own them, right? I hear that a lot. I was actually watching a Tupac Shakur documentary the other night, and I was hearing it. It was like a song. I said, oh, I didn't even know that was a song. I would always hear people talk about that and say that, you know what I'm saying? Kids are just, beings that pass through us, that God gives to us or whatever. And it's like, if that's the analogy or the situation when it comes to parenting, why the fuck is it that this your wife and you think that you own her? Who the hell do you think you are? I can't take it. So Latrice goes back inside. Cliff is over. She's talking to Mandy. Okay. He's over there, sitting over there watching her. And I'm just like, it's giving intimidation factor. I understand you're sitting here trying to make sure that she ain't saying nothing negative about you while the cameras are here and she's falling in line based on what you want her to do. But you're creeping America out. Okay. And you're trying to intimidate your wife. And Latrice, I think what we see on camera is just a fraction of things, and I truly believe when the cameras are away, it's much, much worse. Hence the reason why you in a whole nother room right now. But let's keep going. So she says that she forgot to tell him. This is what she tell us now. I forgot to tell Zaddy. And it's like, girl, the way this man coming at you, you don't need to use the term Zaddy no fucking more. Call this man by his name, which is Cliff, okay? Because you done sat up there and called this man Zaddy so much and said all this and that you done spoken into existence because he's treating you like he's your dad. He's not your dad, but he's treating you like that, okay? So Latrice says that she forgot to tell him that she was gonna be hanging out with Mandy and hanging out with Josh. No, you didn't forget to tell him. You chose not to tell him. And some part of me feel like it's okay. You ain't gotta tell him for real, because I feel like, he probably go places and don't tell you where the hell he going. So I kind of feel like, okay, like if you want to stop and grab a little drink, whatever like that, or hey, I'm about to link up with Mandy, whatever the fuck it was, it should have been a-okay, especially knowing that he has your location, girl. It really shouldn't be that deep that he needs to pull up, but what it really is, I just think, he didn't want you linking up with Josh ass. For real, but let's keep going. So she says that she forgot to tell him that she was linking up with Mandy. And then she lets us know that he still has her location. She says that Cliff doesn't trust her and always feels the need to check on her and her whereabouts. That's because you need to check and see what the Cliff got going on and whether or not he over here doing some shit he ain't got no business doing as to the reason why he's all up on you and making sure that you're falling in line. And it's also giving old crisis. They say midlife crisis, but girl, I think he's over the midlife, okay? It's giving older crisis with this younger woman. And I just feel like maybe he's not performing how he needs to in the bedroom, or something is going on as to why he may think and feel like you could possibly leave him, which is why he's acting out the way that he is. So she says it triggers her when he acts like that, when he treats her like she's a child, because it reminds her of how her dad kind of treated her mom, and he was very aggressive with her mom. But then she also goes on to talk about how she and her mom truly believe in marriage. And basically, with her believing in marriage, she's going to endure any and everything that he puts her through. At least that's what it is that I got from it. She's going to endure any and everything, all for the sake of saying, that's my husband, we're a united front. I just don't believe in that. If your husband is not showing, like, it's 50-50, okay? If he's not showing up in the same, showing up for you in the same capacity that you are for him, that's a problem, and vice versa. And I can't get with that, okay? Her friend is telling her that she need to put her foot down. And I said she ain't gonna put her fucking foot down. The only thing she gonna be putting down is her motherfucking head as she do that walk of shame. That's it. And then come back to the masses and the public portraying a perfect image like everything is okay. And that's my thing with Latrice. Although she's a beautiful woman, successful woman, I like Latrice. There are things about Latrice that I am not a fan of, and that's how she tries to portray that everything in her life is perfect. Like when she didn't show up to show, she came late to So Gucci's boot camp. She was sitting up there saying, oh, well, I didn't rush to get here because, every time I come around, the ladies always make it seem like, there's an issue with me or whatever the case is. Like they always finding something wrong. And I said, well, probably because you like to parade around like life is so perfect for you when we all know that it's not. Therefore, it leads people to believe that you are fake and not authentic. You know what I'm saying? So, girl, yeah. It really makes me think of Tambra just a little bit. So just a little bit. So now I'm kind of seeing why you and Tambra are real cool or whatever, girl. But, it's not that we don't like you, though, Latrice. We do. But you do be giving a bit of a facade. You know what I'm saying? But let's keep going. So while they're over there talking, Cliff is just sitting over there watching the conversation, making sure they ain't saying that negative about them or whatever. This is when Josh decides to come in. So Josh comes in and he sees Cliff and he speaks and he's like, hey, or whatever. And Latrice says, oh, he not filming, honey. He not filming. So Josh, Cliff says to him, you not talking to me. You ain't talking to me. Your conversation is with Latrice. Like, just getting that attitude. Like, girl, I'm like, girl, you a good one. Cause your husband probably would have got his ass cussed the fuck out. Like, it's definitely giving the cake shop with Anime and Ike Turner when I think he wanted her to eat the cake, she didn't want the cake or whatever, and then Vanessa Belle Calloway character stood up and said some shit to him like, bitch, girl, you ain't finna say nothing to me. Like, you, okay, I'm gonna cuss your ass out like Latrice need to cuss your hello? Girl, because, yeah, he deserved to get cussed out. And, girl, if it affects the friendship because I'm over here defending you, girl, it might have to be just what the fuck it is. For real, okay? Because he's a rude motherfucker. So then Latrice tells Josh that Cliff is, my husband is mad at you, honey. He is mad at you. My husband is on your ass. And it's like, girl, he was just on your ass. Okay? And you over there trying to make light of the situation and try and laugh about it or play it off or whatever like that. This like, Latrice, baby, you look a fool. With this old man that you don't want to have kids with, for real. Like, you look a fool. I hate that for you so much because, girl, you could do so much better than that. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of life left ahead of you. You can go and get with any man that you want to that's going to be on the same page as you, whether that's you wanting kids or you not wanting kids and wanting to get to the money and this and that. And I also feel like women that do not want children, and I understand because, first of all, it's a lot of people don't, and that's okay, whatever. But I feel like a lot of women that don't initially want children, when they find that right person or that guy that they feel that they can grow or whatever, they're going to consider it. They're going to be open to it. They're going to be willing to do it. In my personal opinion, I feel like the same thing with guys. There are a lot of guys that's like, I ain't trying to have no kids, whatever the case is. And then they may meet that one woman where it's like, you know what? I think I could do this with her, like whatever. So I just feel like she's not there with him, and not that she may not be there with anybody, but I feel like her chances may be higher with somebody else. I just think she's so unhappy in this relationship with him. But if she was with a whole different type of man that truly fed her mind, body, soul, all of that, then I think that she would definitely consider having that man's child without a doubt. But let's go ahead and keep going, okay? Josh hates that Latrice is no longer vibrant. So we talked about it. So no, let's go back. So when Cliff was telling Josh, like, you ain't talking to me, your conversation is with Latrice or whatever, Latrice is like, oh, my husband mad at you and all this other stuff, like, honey, you done got banned from the house or whatever the case is. So Josh is like, this is ridiculous, like, this is crazy. And then this is when Latrice started whispering, talking about something, I mean, you know how he is, you know how he do. Josh said, girl, why the hell is you whispering? She's like, so he don't hear me. And I'm like, yeah. Ooh, I wouldn't have been able to do it. I would not have been able to, I wouldn't have been able to do that. I wouldn't. Not me hanging out with my friends and you think that you finna pull up and sit here and watch us like you my overseer. Oh, girl, that's something Michael Darby probably would do. But anywho, like you my overseer or whatever, I can't fully enjoy myself like I was, like feeling uncomfortable, and you literally gonna sit there the entire time. Like, I just, bitch. Yeah, and then you think you finna pull me outside and cuss me the fuck out. But, that only works, honestly, like if that was probably the old me or something. Like, that only works to me personally. I feel like a woman that don't really know her worth, for real, that's just what I think. A woman that has not had much experience, when it comes to relationships and stuff, and likely gullible, if that. I don't even want to say that Latrice is really gullible, though, because I feel like she know what the fuck going on. She just be trying to portray a certain image, you know what I'm saying, to the public or whatever. But she's just not in the right state of mind, because there she only works for a bitch like her that's willing to stay in that position that she's in, to where, feeling indebted to him in some capacity. Because, bitch, I would have, me and Cliff would have been out there getting into some things. You hear what the fuck I say? Who I am today, bitch, we would have really been at sea. And first of all, because of who I am, I would never be with a Cliff. Could never. Because we would be getting into some motherfucking things. Because if you think you finna come down here to where the fuck I'm at and think you finna embarrass me, well, we finna be two embarrassed ass birds. So let's get to it. What? All because you feel a way about something. You want to come down here like you're not finna see me at the house in a little bit so we can have a conversation. You the one that be wanting me to portray a certain image. Excuse me? But then this right here, it's not aligning, because now you bringing this shit to the public and you doing it on camera. See, your whole thing was to embarrass her. You don't want to talk about shit on camera and didn't want to say that they eavesdropping, but you wanted to embarrass her on camera. Don't want to talk about it on camera, but wanted to make sure that you embarrassed her on camera. And that right there is another strike to her self-esteem, or whatever you want to call it. Another strike. And girl, that nigga playing tug of war on your ass. And let me tell you, I would have definitely gave his ass a war every time his ass tugged. And that is just what it is. Like, because you're not going to play with me like that. I'm just not. And I'll be glad when she find her bossiness within her damn self to elevate, because who you are, you don't need him. And you didn't need him to become who the hell you is today. So, like, girl, what? So, like, girl, I would have handled Cliff ass outside, because we would have got into some things, girl. Not that I would have been throwing hands, but he would have got his ass cussed the dog out. And he would have wished it would have been like, what's the man on Friday when he said, I told you not to come down here messing with these people. Like, that's what it would have been. Okay, I told you not to bring your ass down here to this restaurant, this lounge, messing with this lady. Because you know how I give it up. Anywho, so Josh is like, this is ridiculous. Latrice is like, oh my God, I'm whispering or whatever. He was like, why are you whispering? She's like, so he don't hear me, whatever the case is. So Josh hates that Latrice is no longer the vibrant person that he met originally. He says that Cliff treats her like she is a child. And her whole dynamics and things have completely changed. That's because she's stuck in this phase of trying to make things work. She's stuck in this phase of trying to prove people wrong for the people that looked at her like, girl, that's man, that you marrying that man way older than you. That man old enough to be your daddy. Like, why would you marry him? Da da da. So for all the naysayers, she's staying in this situation to prove other folks wrong. And I'm like, girl, you ain't got to prove us wrong. You proving your damn self wrong. Okay? You out there looking a fool, trying to prove people that's moving on about their life. And some of them happy, some of them not. People moving on about their life, doing their thing. And you over here just trying to hang on just to be hanging on. Like, girl, no, ma'am. Fuck all that, girl. Life too short. So then Cliff joined a random ass section right next to them while they're all talking. And Mandy, Josh talking to her, letting her know what she deserves, what she don't deserve. You know what I'm saying? She need to speak up for herself, whatever the case is. Then he takes his ass to a random section, sit down with these random ass men who should have kicked his ass out their section, just so he could eavesdrop and get closer to hear what they talking about because they were over there whispering. No, ma'am. No, ma'am, girl. Yeah. And it took them long enough because eventually they did get up and leave, but they should have got up and left when his ass was just sitting there staring at her, trying to overhear her conversation. But anywho, so, yeah, so her friends tell her that Cliff is controlling and that he does not want her to elevate beyond what and where she already is. Okay, that's what the friends say, and I agree. I definitely believe it, and I feel like that's one of the driving motivators of why he wants her to have a child, so that he can continue to kind of have that over her and keep her in bondage. And whenever she wants to go out and do more things, it's going to be, you can't do that because you got this baby to take care of, or you got this, that, and this going on, or you a mom. And he's going to use it as another way to get into her mind. And I feel like, honestly, she knows that. She's not dumb. She knows that. That's why she really don't want to have no child. I'm telling y'all. She sat up there, held his grandkids, and said something like, I don't like kids, but I like seeing you with yours or whatever. And it's like, girl, number one, shut up. But the fact that you even like to see the kids or whatever is enough to let me know that if you had the right mate, you would be willing to give that person a child, or at least have a child, not give them a child, but you will be willing to have a child and, share that child with that person, right? If they made you feel safe, comfortable, and hopeful for the future, or whatever the case is, right? But with Cliff, you don't feel that way. You know what I'm saying? So, because you already know what it is. You already know how he gonna use that against you. That's the reason why you ain't trying to do it. So, anywho, she says some stupid shit talking about, I want to believe that he's protecting me. What? How is that protecting you, coming to a lounge where you're at with your friends to embarrass you, baby? That's not protecting you. And I hate that you're so hung up on marriage life, marriage. I don't know how that ties into religion for you, but you really are holding on to that so much that you will deal with whatever, and you'll tell yourself whatever just to deal with the whatever, to continue to portray a certain look to people when we already see what's going on in that glass house. Let's keep going on. All right, so let's get to Gucci. So Gucci and JJ, Gucci's daughter has had her child, and her relationship with one of the twins, which is Star, is getting better. Star, we learn, is married. She has a baby on the way, but her dad did not find this out until he got on social media, and that's when he learned. And I just kind of feel like, not you don't went all the way as far as to get ultrasound pics and to get married and not tell your daddy. Like, I don't know about that. And I know they tried to say that the dad's relationship with Star, like, he could be very hard on them or whatever the case is, which is why they didn't open up. But at the end of the day, the deed is done. So why would you not want to notify your dad and let him know, hey, I'm preggo and I'm married at that? Like, girl, what can he do now? Okay, girl, you don't went and got married. You big grown. It really ain't too much he can say to you now. So you might as well just let the man know that you was, with child and with husband. So anywho, their relationship is getting better. The two daughters. We see JJ go off and talk to Star, but what I more so was focused on was Gucci talking to her daughter because she talked to her daughter about Selena, which happens to be Star's mom. And she says that she believes that Selena has been trying to turn the girls against her because Selena has been telling them that Gucci has been talking about her. And she says that she's not. I don't believe Gucci. I'm gonna be honest. I'm liking Gucci so far, but I don't believe you, dear heart. Girl, you went to a baby shower and you literally compared a whole nice ass baby shower, whether the food was delayed or not, and compared it to a drive-by ass baby shower. No, you're not. I don't care anything about COVID because you could have did a better job. If that's when your daughter's baby shower was, you could have did a better job. Even with that, you could have limited the amount of people, rent a bigger building so people could space out even more. You could have did a better job instead of getting her some fucking chairs. Some of your chairs out your living room, brought them down to the edge of the road and just had people drive by and drop shit off. Like, girl, no ma'am. That's not how that go. And you got the audacity to sit up there and compare Selena, talk about you want to have your child sitting in a lawn chair or whatever the case was. Girl, wasn't nobody thinking about that but you. So you definitely be talking about Selena. And I'm not going to believe anything different. I don't know what it is about Selena that gives you a hard on so bad. I really think it's because, for the most part, JJ and Selena still have a good relationship. And you might not be able to deal with that because it makes me question whether you and your ex have a good relationship or not. Right? So you may not understand the dynamics of their relationship. And the fact that Selena looked good, like, at the end of the day. I don't really think, unless y'all had some other issue in the past, I don't really see a reason as to why you should be pressed about a woman that came before you, for real, unless your husband makes you feel uncomfortable about that woman. Like, everybody got a history. Okay. All right. Before he even thought of what a Gucci was, Selena and them kids was already in the picture a long time ago. They already had their claim to fame. We just now getting to know you. We've been known who they were. Okay, been known who they were for many years now. So I don't believe nothing Gucci talking about, saying she don't. Girl, if you'll talk about some fucking lawn chairs and compare the smallest things at a baby shower, that's enough to let me know that you do be talking about Selena. And Selena not lying. She just calling a thing a thing. It's really just that simple. Okay. Um, what else is going on? Tambra and Gucci. Now, I noticed when they show Tambra don't be really having, like, Tambra scenes don't last that damn long, for real. Tambra ain't got shit going on. But Tambra's gonna have some stuff going on when these ladies start digging in that ass, though. Okay, she really is. So, Tambra introduced Quasi to Gucci, but it's like, okay, who the fuck is this? Like, she just like, have you met Quasi? No, I haven't. Like, who is this? Is he your manager? Is he your coworker? Like, who is he? Like, your PR person? Like, girl, we don't know this man, but nah, I see he be around. He be on your heels everywhere you go, but I don't know him. Listen, I do believe if Tambra is not messing with Quasi, which I kind of believe that she is, if she ain't, there definitely is some sort of attraction there for the both of them. And Greedy not really giving it up like she thought that he would. I think last year it was all fantasy. She liked the idea of being with Greedy, going back to him, having kids, this and that. But girl, over the past few months of her living with him, she really see that this ain't what it's about. And I also feel like when you're a woman like Tambra that has, lived on your own for the most part for many years, whether you've been in a relationship, been single. But I think Tambra tried to say that she's always had somebody and she was just now being single finally or whatever. She ain't got no kids or whatever. And whether she was in relationships or not, she still lives on her own. So I feel like she's used to moving as a individual woman versus a single woman. Like, she's used to moving about how she would want to. And I just don't think Tambra, I don't know. Tambra ain't trying to settle down for real, for real. I think she likes the idea of it, but I don't think that's something that she truly, truly wants. Like, I don't know. But anywho, let's get to JJ. All right. JJ goes to see Cliff and he tells him that Gucci is disappointed that she lost out on that money because what's her name? Latrice ended up going with somebody else. And I feel like that's a common thing. I feel like it's common for for people to allow different realtors to show them stuff, show them houses, show them, rental spaces or whatever the case is. And I don't think anything's wrong with that if you kind of get the vibe of different people, because just because I meet with the first person doesn't mean that I got to close with you. I'm just getting the vibe for how you are as a realtor. If I meet somebody else and they seem more personable and this, that, and the other, then I might be more inclined. So I don't know how I feel about this. I feel like with this whole Gucci and Latrice situation, I feel like Latrice has a right to go with whoever she wants to go with. But I do question how she kind of went about doing it, because it's like, what was the time frame for me to know whether or not you really gave Gucci the adequate amount of time to find you another location? Or did you, like, the day that you, like, I don't know. Latrice tried to explain it on the previous episode by saying that she was all packed up, ready to go, because Gucci had them thinking they got the building, only for it to fall through. But Latrice, you've bought things before, I would want to believe, so you gotta know that not all deals are going to go through. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I get it. You packed up, you closed one half of your shop. Let's be honest, you closed one half of your shop because you needed that money back and you didn't want to continue to dish it out. Don't put that off on Gucci. And also when you was explaining, I believe he has no reason to lie to us. He's been pretty honest for the most part, and I trust his thoughts. And he was saying that you were eager, so that's really what it's given. It's given that you were eager, and I feel like I might not be in agreement with you as we continue to learn things, because I feel like you may not have given Gucci the amount of time to actually find you something. Because I'm wondering if Gucci showed you something this week and then the next week you didn't, the deal fell through, whatever. The next week you then hopped and went on to somebody else instead of giving her the chance, right? So I feel like I'm in between, right? I don't think I'm all the way on Gucci's side, and I'm not all the way on Latrice's side, because when I think of business, I feel like she has a right to do that. But then at the same time, how much time did you give her, knowing that you wanted to initially work with her? So I don't know. We'll see. But either way, JJ brings that up to Cliff. Cliff lets him know that she had another realtor that found the building, and because that realtor found the building, Cliff felt as though that's who Latrice should have closed with, versus letting another realtor find a building, but then you closing with the original realtor. I would have felt like that was messed up, right? So he just felt like, I mean, at the end of the day, it's all business. So just handle your business the best way you know how. And, hey, if this woman found you the building, close with that woman, which does make sense. Just close with that lady. So JJ started to think to himself, like, I don't know. I just feel like Latrice is the problem, because ever since I met her, she's been caught up in a little bit of BS. Okay. It's been a little bit of issues dealing with this lady. And I'm starting to think that she's the problem. Okay. So that's where JJ is with it. Glenn decides to join them. JJ says Latrice did Gucci wrong. Of course, Cliff disagrees and says business is business, okay? Cliff goes into the confessionals and they asked him, like, yo, why are you not going to tell the guys about you and Latrice? And he said, because it's private. He says, I'm not telling them about me and Latrice because y'all shouldn't have been eavesdropping, and it was a one-on-one situation and y'all intruded. And I'm just like, yo, how you gonna say that when you intruded on the camera scene? You intruded on their camera time. That's what you did. And then now you don't want to share it with the guys what you did, but you want to sit up there and ask Glenn about Letitia and then turn around and say that if she's not happy, then it's not good. You need to sweep around your own front door. I'm going to need you to get to the back. I'm going to need you to pressure wash that motherfucker and wipe your windows on the outside. It's what I'm going to need you to do before you take your motherfucking ass over there to Glenn talking anything about what's going on between he and his wife and that fake ass situation that they got going on, okay? Because one thing's for sure, what you and your lady got going on is real, okay? Y'all got some real stuff going on. So I just feel like you on some humbug. Gonna sit up there, don't want to talk about your shit, but want to try and give somebody else advice about theirs. Are you stupid? You are. You're dumb. But yeah, child. So that's what they had going on. Cliff is a fucking mess. He can't tell anybody anything, in my personal opinion. What else did I want to say about Cliff? Because I just feel like I just want to drag his ass, because I just can't do him. I thought he was so funny and he and stuff in the beginning, but he's not. Like, I don't be understanding. Like, I've never been a woman to like older guys like that anyway. I've just never been a fan of that shit. If you've been watching my channel long enough, you've heard me say this in previous videos. Like, it's something about it. Like, I just don't like older guys. Like, I don't know. I feel like they prey on younger women and stuff. Like, it's something about it. Like, I couldn't really date one. I might find one that's like super attractive and stuff, like, oh, he cute and this and that. Like, I just couldn't date nobody that's like Cliff age. Like, I couldn't do that shit. Like, what would we really have in common? You know? And I feel like with those type of guys, like, I don't know, Cliff reminds me of a past relationship. Although me and this guy were the same age, he was just on some other weird shit. Like, he would go, what time would he go to work? I think he would go to work at 4 and get off at 11 or something, right? So, like, if I left work early at noon, he would want me to go to sleep when he goes to sleep. Or, like, even on the weekend, let's just say the weekends, he wants me to go to sleep when he go to sleep before he go to work. Bitch, why the fuck am I going to sleep when you go to sleep? And Cliff makes me think of that type of person. Like, I feel like he would want Latrice to do what he doing at the same time. Like, go to sleep when I'm going to sleep. But, like, why the fuck would I, like, for what? I'm a morning person. I'm not an afternoon finna go to sleep. I'm not tired. Okay? Like, why the hell would I do that? But, anywho, girl, I don't know. But that's what Cliff strikes me as, that person. Like, I'm finna lay down, come in here and lay down with me. Why the fuck am I laying down with you? You the one tired. Take your ass in there and lay the fuck down. Like, are you okay? But anyway, girl, let me keep going. Finish this review. So Latrice and Josh. So Josh doesn't know where he stands when it comes to the friendship and the business. He thinks that if Cliff doesn't want him around, just like he didn't want him at the house, and if he don't want him in the business, then what he say is going to go. And what I did not like was Latrice lying. For real, for real. She was lying. Like, I mean, I know that's how you feel, Latrice, but in all honesty, whatever he says, it does go. You're sitting over here trying to assure Josh that, no, don't nobody tell me what to do when it comes to my business. I run my business how I want to, and this and that and yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, no, ma'am. Because if your husband says choose between him or me in your business, I don't want him nowhere around. I don't want him filming. I don't want this or that. What you're going to do is let Josh go. That's what you're going to do. So I wish you would stop all your lines. So don't nobody make no decisions when it comes to my business, especially if they ain't putting in on this or that. I have a hard time believing that, girl. I don't know. I just don't believe Treese would do that. I think she would do away because, once again, she values marriage so high on the pole. Like, girl, good night. So Latrice says that he's good, and we talked about that. She goes on to apologize on behalf of Cliff, and then she starts to cry about it and says that she doesn't want her issues with Cliff to come in between she and Josh. And I'm like, it's going to. I hate to say it, but it's going to. I think Josh is trying to withdraw himself from whatever they got going on, get out their relationship, that's their marriage, that's her husband. She gonna stick beside them. They're gonna do what they do. Now, Josh, I think it would behoove you to do that, but it is difficult when you're a loving friend and you're sitting up there watching your friend being treated wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be hard to not have something to say. You know, after a while, I feel like we'll be quiet for a minute, but then after a while, you probably gonna say something, and then it's gonna fuck some shit up all over again, you know. So it's a little difficult, but I hopefully y'all figure it out, okay? Latrice says that she loves Josh and says that she has to be there for her. She says, but I love you or whatever, but I have to be there for and with my husband. Basically, in all my husband's bullshit, I have to stick beside him. I have to stand beside him. I have to show him he got my support 100%. And what is given to me, Latrice, baby, is that you're losing your voice, and you've been losing it for a very long time. You have, and I couldn't do it. Like, bitch, that's no, ma'am. You're gonna have to find that balance, okay? But I feel like when your husband is dog ass wrong, ain't no point in being quiet and making him thinking that he's right. I mean, what do you get out of that? What satisfaction? Like, what do you get? What do you gain out of that? Anywho, so let's move on. Gucci do a boot camp. Latrice didn't rush to show up, and we talked about that because she said the lady's always trying to complain or whatever when she comes around. I said, yeah, probably because you always fake and acting like everything in your life is grand when it's not. Marie not fooling with Tambra. And Tam don't know that. right? Marie was about to tell Tambra, well, she was talking to Tambra about her issue, some of it, but then Latrice walked up. So when Latrice walked up, she wrapped the conversation, she walked off, okay? So then Tisha, Tambra, and Latrice start talking. Tambra said, y'all didn't show up to my tailgate. Marie said, I ain't know nothing about, I'm sorry, Latrice and Letitia said they didn't know anything about it. She says, well, I talked to Marie, and then turned around and said that, you know, she talked to So Gucci, but Gucci came up to do an interview with her at the radio station. Then she said the stupidest shit to me. This woman says, I didn't know that I needed to invite everybody individually. BITCH. You over here trying to play on people's intelligence now, when all you had to do was send a group text message. And did you ask Marie to tell everybody? That's what I'm wondering. Now, if you asked Marie to share it with the ladies and she did it, then that may be another thing. But it's coming off that, like, for you to say that line, I didn't think I needed to invite everybody individually. Girl, you could have just sent a group text. Like, people saying that they didn't even get a text. They didn't get nothing about it. You didn't share nothing about it. So I also am starting to think that just as much as these ladies have an issue with Tambra, Tambra has an underlying issue with these ladies as well. She's just not addressing it. And I do, as I was watching it, I was kind of like, you know what? I feel like it's not fair that y'all not really telling Tambra what's going on, but y'all over here acting a little shady towards the lady, even in conversation. Y'all getting a little nippy, a little smart or whatever. And it's like, just tell her what the hell going on, right? But at the same time, I'm like, well, Tambra playing in their face too, because for her to be able to invite them any other time via group message or call them or do whatever, she didn't do that this time. So that lets me know that Tambra does have an issue with the ladies, and she's being fake as well. So everybody just being fake. All right. What else ended up happening? Let's see. Tambra talks with we talked about that. Let's see, did a baby shower. So Gucci doing, we talked about that. Gucci doing all these comparisons between her daughter's baby shower and Selena's, which really you can't even compare in my personal. And that confirmed that she has been talking about that lady. What else? Latrice pulls Gucci outside for a conversation, says she wanted to talk to her or whatever. And Latrice says that she brought Gucci to the group. She brought Gucci to the group and she made her. Latrice, we like you, but what you not finna do is pull that role, okay? Y'all love be talking about how y'all made somebody. And now if somebody said that they made you in any capacity, i.e. that husband, well, you probably ain't gonna say nothing to him, okay? But if it was somebody else, you gonna jump down their throat to make sure that they know that they never made you. So I don't think it's right for you to sit up there and say that you made Gucci. Now, this is like the second time that you've said that, so y'all gonna have to elaborate more so I can get an understanding, because right now I'm not feeling Latrice when she says that. Because the last time she says, I gave So Gucci that name. Okay, girl, you gave So Gucci that name. Like, did you really? Did you really get her that So Gucci name and she ran with it? So I would like to know more details. And if that is the case, girl, it is giving that you went, and then you told me you brought her on the show and all of that, girl. It is giving that y'all really did have a stronger friendship than what I was thinking. And maybe you should have, given your friend a little more time to help you find a building. I don't know, just on some friend stuff. So I don't know, girl, but we gonna see. You're not entitled to do favors for your friends, okay? You're not entitled to work with your friends or anything. But at the same time, girl, maybe y'all had a different type of agreement and you kind of played your friend behind her back. But we are going to see how this plays out, okay? But I just wanted to come to y'all real quick with the Belle Collective review. I want you guys to go ahead and hop down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts about the latest episode. I got to hear y'all thoughts about Latrice and this dynamic with Cliff and also with Josh involved. I need to hear all of that. Let me know your thoughts about So Gucci and whether you feel like she was talking about Selena or if you think that she wasn't, okay? Let me know all of your thoughts, and also let me know your thoughts about Tambra in this quasi situation. Like, what is it giving? Okay, let me know. That's all that I have. If you haven't liked the video, please go ahead and do so. I am Jamie, that's me. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Jamie, that's me, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.